So first we will do call to order. So first ask Dana.
Here.
Thank you. Haley?
Here.
Nonly?
Here.
Thank you. And we will see Susan today.
Hello. I'm
Thank
here.
you all. Thank you all. And today is the Lunar New Year's Eve. So thank you for attending tonight's meeting. And we have an agenda to begin. And first, let's do Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to
the flag
to the flag of the
of the
United States of America
America
and to the republic for which it stands,
stands,
one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. And first, we will do the approval of agenda. And do you have a chance to go over today's agenda? Any amendments, updates? And I'm asking if there's a motion to approve the agenda.
Dana has a motion to approve the agenda.
Thank you.
I second the motion.
Thank you, Haley, for second motion. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. And the next item is approval of the minutes of the November 15th, 2021 meeting. So let's take a look at the minutes. If you have anything to add. Okay. Any motion to approve the minutes?
I move that the minutes be approved.
Thank you, Haley. And the Dana raised your hand.
Yeah, Dana seconds.
Thank you, Dana, for second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you for approving the meeting minutes of November 15th. Next, may I ask John if anybody from the public has registered?
Yes, Chair, no one is registered at this point.
Okay, thank you, John. And we will proceed with the next item on the agenda, which is staff announcements, please.
Yeah, just briefly wanted to share that a lot of the city facilities, including City Hall, in our department, the Community Center, Sports Center, and Senior Center has been closed since January 10th, mostly due to the Omicron. And we were slated to revisit that at the end of January, but it's been extended to February 14th. So just to let everyone know that all the city facilities are slated to open again for business starting February 14th, and hopefully the cases will go down and we could reopen for business.
Thank you, John, for the update.
Yeah, we do have the virtual Lunar New Year on the website, so be sure to check that out as well. We were hoping to do that in person, but we'll have to wait another year.
Okay, are we ready for tonight's new business items? So first one is an election. We need an annual election once again for tonight's meeting.
Looks like it's that time of the year again. So yes, I'd like to ask for nominations. We'll do chair and the vice chair, but we'll start with the chair. I'd like to ask if there's any nominations for the position of Library and Education Advisory Commission Chair.
Dana has a question. Who is the present vice chair?
Ha.
It's It's Ha, and I would like to
Ha.
announce that she's actually, she's joined the Economic Development Commission. So she's actually resigned
Oh,
our commission, so that seat will be open. So yes, LP resigned and then Ha recently. So she's joined another commission.
Yeah, we would like
Okay.
to congratulate on LP's retirement, very well deserved retirement. And his contribution was recognized at a city council meeting with a certificate presented. And for Ha, I think the economic development is also a very important commission with the city, and definitely, congratulate her on her new interest to make a different but still very sensible contribution to that commission. And I look at the bylaws of the commission, because I think at one point in time, our commission's term was 2 years for the officer, the chair and the vice chair. But I reviewed the document, and the document was updated by the city council last year, and the officer's term is 1 year. So therefore, we will need an election tonight. And good evening, Reka, and you will be seated. And also good evening, Councilwoman Evelyn. Welcome to our meeting. And we are doing the annual election. Yeah.
Okay.
Good evening,
Thank you, Chair.
everyone.
So can I would like to, at this time, regarding the position of chair, like to ask for any nominations?
yes. May I nominate somebody?
Sure.
I would like to nominate Dana Arbaugh for president. For chair.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Hallie.
You're welcome.
I think we need a second.
Well, any other, I'd like to ask,
John,
are
do
there
we-
any other nominations? No? Okay. Well, with that, with one nomination, Dana, you will take over the position of chair. Eulon, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much for all your wonderful service and
And do we still need to go, because
Yes,
the
we will.
voting I think on record, we need
yeah,
to
let's do
say
it for,
yes,
let's
right?
do it for the
Yeah.
record. So
Yeah.
all those I'll go through the list, and if you could in favor of Dana as election for chair. So Eulon, I'll start with you.
Yes.
Okay. Helly.
Yes.
Okay. Noni.
Yes,
Okay. Teresa here? Teresa's not here, right? No. Susan
yes,
and Rika.
yes.
Perfect. And welcome, Steve, to tonight's meeting. We are doing the election right now. Yeah.
Congratulations, Dana.
Yeah, congratulations.
Okay,
Dana.
thank
Eulon,
you.
Thank you. Very much.
Congratulations, Dana.
Now I'd like to,
Yeah. John, question. In terms of nominating a vice, does it have to be a seated member, or can it also be an alternate that could serve as a vice?
I believe it needs to be a seated member. That's my understanding.
Okay, could you please review who our seated members are?
Well, currently it's yourself, Eulon, Helly, Noni, and Therese.
I
Okay.
have a question too. Oh, go ahead, Dana.
No, he answered my question. I was about ready to nominate somebody, but go ahead and ask your question.
Yes, may we nominate somebody who is not I'd like to nominate Eulon for vice chair. Is that
If it's-
possible?
yeah,
Sure.
good question.
Sure, we could. So why don't we start with that? So you'd like to
Good
nominate
one.
Eulon. Do you accept that nomination for vice chair, Eulon?
This seems a very interesting task. I would like to have the honor, if all possible, to work with Dana.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other
I
nominations
second.
for the position of chair? Or, I'm sorry, vice chair? Any other nominations? Okay, thank you. So we'll just go down the list. Helly, would you like to nominate Eulon for the position of vice chair?
Yes, very
Okay.
much.
Thank you. Noni?
Yes.
Okay. Dana?
Yes.
Susan?
Yes.
Excellent. Enrica?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Good one, Haley.
Officially, Dana, you are the chair of Librarian Education Advisory Commission, and Eulon, you'll serve as vice chair. So thank you.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
With this, I don't have a gravel to present. But Dana, so now the meeting is yours.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Okay. Well, thank you. Just a quick question, John. Our terms are 1 year, and then a year from now we have the election again.
Exactly. The first meeting of
Okay,
the
good.
calendar year. Exactly. Right. So we'll do this again next January.
Okay. Now let me open my agenda.
Okay.
Okay. Are there any questions on item number 1, election? Are we all done? All done? Okay.
We are.
Moving on to number 2, it says work plan project. The background, the commission's fiscal year 21-22 work plan identified goals, projects, ongoing tasks that the commission can continue to work on and attempt and accomplish this fiscal year. So the recommendation, review the work plan projects to start the new year, including the upcoming youth essay contest in the spring. Discuss and reach consensus on essay contents topics for both the middle and high school divisions, and determine time frame and cutoff date for the event to be implemented similarly to last year's. So why don't we maybe, with John's guidance, open it up for discussion? Maybe a review of the work plan itself.
Yeah, and Chair, I think the only items we have really upcoming would be the county commissions forum. Everything else is spring related, and previous Chair Chow and myself spoke about having a focus on the essay contest.
Yes, and yes.
Yeah, and if each of you, hopefully you got the email earlier. I apologize for not sending it Friday. As far as some homework, if you had some ideas for some topics. So our hope, Chair Arbaugh, was that we could kind of identify, maybe discuss some ideas for some topics for both the middle and the high school for the essay contest. And if we can kind of gain consensus on that tonight. And then also identify the time frame. If we could do that tonight, and then possibly the next meeting, we could just review the kind of the mechanics of the event from last year, and just ensure that we want to go forward with kind of that same format, the judging, whatnot. But for this particular meeting, we were hoping to have a discussion on some potential topics, and then the date.
Good, thank you. I came up with one, but before we jump to the essay contest, you had mentioned the headquarters, Santa Clara County Library Department headquarters, February. That's going to be a Zoom meeting, and I'm already signed up for it. So I guess I would encourage all commission members to, join. So maybe we could have, I don't know, a show of hands, or, those of us who have signed up, and maybe later, I'm sure Steve will cover something about it, but would that be adequate just to say, I'm signed up for it? Eulon signed up for it. So anybody else, I think it's very worthwhile. And I would encourage everybody, whether you're a member or an alternate, to sign up. It's about an hour and a half. So, and the date, I think it's early February. I don't have the date right in front of me, but maybe Steve could cover that later.
Yeah, well, I'll jump in now. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's on the 5th. So this Saturday.
And the time, Steve, from is it in the morning? It's in the morning or 10 to 12 or?
I believe
I have
it's
to look at-
9:30, but let me just check before you guys write that down, and I have to
Yeah,
tell you something different.
Yeah, I have it. I have it on my. I have it on my.
9:30 till 11.
Thank you.
Yeah, Steve, can you still hear me?
I can, yes.
Okay. During the football game, I got excited and I erased I erased all my inbox email for the past month. So could you please have the headquarters person resend me the Zoom link invitation to that? And I'll try
course,
not
yes.
to watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no more football for you. But yeah, we'll get that link to you ASAP.
In fact, I had to have John resend this Zoom meeting because I deleted that also.
So I can't attend the meeting because I was already volunteered for the vaccination clinic at Rancho this Saturday. I'm sorry about that.
Okay. Anything
Steve?
else on that?
Yeah, Steve, will the February 5th program be recorded?
Yes, it will. Yep, we'll make that available to you after.
Yeah, that's perfect. We
Thank you.
Sure.
you could see it. You can see it after the fact. That's a good question. Anything else? Okay, why don't we move on to John's second point about each of us recommending an idea for a topic for the middle and high school essay contest. I have one, but if anybody else would like to go first.
I have one.
May I ask Nate if you can put an empty Word document up and have everybody's topic typed for us? That would be great.
So you want us to type instead of speak?
I think every
say
one
it.
of us can speak, but we need definitely the IT's help to have it on the screen so we can see it.
Yeah, I think she means someone to record what our suggestions are.
I have mine typed. I was going to pop it into chat so that everybody could have it
Oh,
visual
yeah.
while also listening.
Whoa.
Yeah, that will work.
I didn't think about that.
Okay.
Go
So
ahead.
the
Go ahead with your suggestion.
topic I thought about is related to the pandemic and, of course, the library and the students or the youth. So I Googled essay topics relating to this, the connection between students and the library and the pandemic, because I believe it's a relevant topic. And I found something that hit the nail, so to speak. It says, how has media, so media including everything, not social media, but media in general, how has media in general played a role in your life regarding the ongoing pandemic? And if that is too general, I have a second version, which is how has media in general helped you and your family cope during the pandemic? I will type it now in the chat.
I typed Haley's first one. Haley may want to take a look if I recorded it correctly. And I would like to propose one because the EDI, equity, diversity, and the inclusion is an important topic. And I hope to use a general kind of topics to encourage students to write down their personal experience. So my topic is us versus them, equity, equity, diversity, and inclusion for all. I will type in the chat box.
Already put my text in the chat window, but my topic was regarding our position as advocates for the library to the community, bringing the topic back to us, to the library and the community. Is what is your favorite program or service offered by the Milpitas Library and why? Or conversely, which program or service do you wish was offered at the library and why? So that we can see what programs are working with the students and maybe things that we don't have that they would like to see.
Okay.
And before this meeting, I received the information from Council Member Evelyn, who has some great suggestions. Would you like to speak up with your proposed topics?
Thank you, Vice Chair. Thank you, Vice Chair. I would wait until everybody has spoken. After our commissioners have spoken, then I will about what I wrote on my email to John. Thank you.
Yes. This is Dana.
Yes.
Maybe I could jump in with mine.
Sure.
Would that be okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. You can go.
Did you want me to?
You could go if you want. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Okay. I already typed mine in and I accidentally hit but it was similar to what Haley's was. It's again about social media because I think we've all been stuck at home, especially students, and social media plays a big role in what they do during the day or even during class time. Because I'm, as you know, I work in education, and even though I work with young children, they would still connect with each other. Even when they are in class, they know how to connect with each other online. Outside of class too, that's how they socialize. So, you know, I think Haley said all of media. I'm okay with that as well. But I think this whole social media or how it affects them, and then maybe focus on just the advantages or kind of direct them towards thinking about how they used it to their advantage rather than just always talk about, you know, because it could have had a lot of negative impact too, but we want them to think about all the positive ways they can use it rather than just all the negative stuff. So that was just a suggestion from me. Thank you.
Is okay for Dana to go now?
Mm-hmm. I'll mute.
Okay. Okay, my like Noni, I thought it would be important for the students, middle school and high school, as they were writing their essay to focus on the Milpitas Library. And my thought was to share with them a historic figure, Andrew Carnegie. And I think we could, you know, sort of at the top of the essay paper, what they're going to, you know, focus on we could say that Andrew Carnegie, when he came to America, he had very minimal education, and he wasn't really allowed or able to go to school, but he befriended a librarian, and he basically got his education through the friendship with this librarian. And he persevered, and he became the wealthiest man in America. And to show his gratitude for the help that the librarian and the library gave him, he built 1,689 libraries in America. And, you know, of course, that was over 100 years ago. And of course, many of you, like my wife and I, have actually visited several Carnegie libraries. There was one in her hometown of Sheridan, Wyoming, that I remember. He basically spent the bulk of his, in today's money, billions and billions of dollars, building these 1,689 libraries. So we could sort of, you know, I have to do some, I can't quite chat that much right now, but I'll make it concise in terms of what Andrew Carnegie did. But I guess the question that I would like these students to write an essay about is, how can the services at the Milpitas Library help them to do better in life in sort of a, maybe not as dramatic, but sort of in an analogous way of Andrew Carnegie. And I think that, see, the benefit there is it'll get them thinking about the Milpitas Library and the various services that are available. And so it might be kind of a twofer where they, you know, focus on the future at the library. Does that make sense? I'll have to spend some time writing that up and concising it. I could send it to John.
Well, Chair, and if I could suggest, we'll get Councilmember Chua's considerations also. We'll probably want to actually go over these, and if we can, kind of gain consensus or direction. If we can kind of pinpoint that topic or topics tonight, that would be ideal. And it you know, we have some great suggestions, and they're all different. So maybe we can get Councilmember Chua's, and then maybe there could be some open discussion on which direction we want to go, and kind of narrow it down from there. That's my suggestion. Councilmember Chua, did you want to share your ideas?
Sure. Thank you, John, and also thank you, Chair. As you know, I'm also the liaison to the Energy and Sustainability Environmental Sustainability Commission. So we got grants from I'm also on the board of Silicon Valley Clean Energy. So I was able to apply for a grant, and they granted us some funding. That being said, I was thinking maybe the kids at the lowest level, they can come up with suggestions on how to help in the climate change, in the environmental sustainability, like reduction of green gas emission. So just to simplify it, what can you do as a student or as what can you do to start thinking about helping climate change? Because we have a deadline, like in 2030, 2040, to have to address this climate change issue. And we need to start from the young ones, I think. Yeah. So if we can make that simple, and I was also thinking maybe it's a collaboration between you and the Energy Sustainability Commission, something to that effect. And you guys can think of the details.
That's my idea. I thought about that when I saw John's email. So that's all, Chair. Thank you.
If I may speak, that's a great idea, Council Member Evelyn Chua, because UN sustainability goals are like being introduced all across, right from elementary to middle and high school students. So it's not a new topic for the students. And then they can write their own way as how they, as a maybe as an individual or even a family, contribute towards this UN sustainable goal, and then how we can contribute as a community or as Milpitas all together, or as the state or the country, and then, you know, our country globally, how we contribute. Because I know we have goals to attain by 2030, and they need to be nationwide, but we need to start at, you know, an individual level, like, so bring it down to their level. So I like that idea too.
Okay, thank you.
Chair Arba?
Yes.
I think in hearing these wonderful ideas, I'm maybe rethinking, you know, whether we should vote on this today. I think if we if I'm able to work with each of you and kind of drill down on your central theme or idea, and kind of package that, send it to the group for consideration, I think we could actually vote on that next March at our March meeting. Good. And still have time to you know, construct the flyer and do the marketing and get it out to the students, especially if we're looking at an end of April kind of deadline for the event. So if I can suggest, just so we don't rush through this and we could give some more thought and consideration to these diverse ideas, why don't I'll go ahead and capture the ones we have right now, and if there's any other ideas, you know, in the interim, just send them to me, and then we'll have those available for the next meeting.
That sounds good.
Can I just add some observations as well?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say that there's some really great ideas, and I have no idea how we will narrow it down to choose the right one, but I just wanted to add what I heard that really kind of resonated with me. I really like the positive outlook you were looking towards, you know, future. I think all of the themes had that kind of aspect, and that was great. But I did also really like the ones that related to the library, because that would also give some real perspective for us here at the library in terms of moving forward with things as well. And I feel that that would be helpful. So whichever way you go, I think we've got some great themes, but I just, you know, I really like the Carnegie Library. And one of the things I've heard a lot lately is relating, you know, Andrew Carnegie's vision when he came in with all of these libraries to the future, because there is a feeling that we're in a new era of library service right now, that the pandemic has changed a lot of things, but given us a lot of opportunities. So, you know, I'd like to know, you know, what do the youth see for the future of libraries, and what are our opportunities here? So I think there's some great ideas there. So I just wanted to add that in. Thank you.
Yes. And John, if I could just add, or maybe concur with Kelly and Noni, personally, I think because we're the Library and Education Commission, all of the topics that were proposed, environmental change, they're all very good, thoughtful suggestions. But my suggestion would be, whichever one we go with, we should try to find a way to connect it to the Milpitas Library and library services, such that the student can, as Kelly said, think about how the library can help them achieve whatever topic we go with, whether it's climate change or you know, their you know, personal growth, and you know, the Andrew Carnegie idea. I think it's important that we consider tying it to the library.
Sure, yeah, I think that's a great idea, and I think maybe we just dedicate more time the next meeting to kind of think through that, you know, how we can create that tie-in, which with whatever topic we choose ultimately, you know, how does that tie back to the library? Certainly. So if we're in agreement, we'll just go ahead and capture these ideas.
John?
If there's any others. Councilmember
John?
Chia?
Yes, my hand is raised. Chair.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Councilmember
Chair.
Chu with.
It is interesting because sitting on the Energy and Sustainability Commission, I learned a lot. And I just learned recently that in the library, we can, just like books, we can take out what they call the kit. And this kit are tools to reduce electricity consumption. One of the electricity that the library they provide, I didn't even know. I don't know, Kelly, if you can expound on the tools, you know, the kit, the energy kit that they have. It's really tying into the libraries, one of the library services. And they have this, can you expound on that one before I move? What we get from the kit bag? Some we can keep, and the other ones we return.
Yeah, sorry, I was just trying to find my information about that. So they're toolkits that you can check out from the library. They include a kilowatt meter for measuring the energy use of appliances and equipment, a thermal detector to check heat loss through windows and vents and doors. So just all different tools so that someone can go in and assess their energy usage at home and then make some informed decisions on how to improve that. So yeah, we have them available here at the library.
Yes, it's just like checking out a book. You check out these kits, and it's so amazing to me that we have it. I didn't even know about it. And I found out about it through being part of the Energy and Sustainability Commission. One of the projects that the commission has is to provide which you guys will be involved. I don't want to say anything else, but this smart energy strip that can reduce they call vampire load. Like if you're using a strip and you use it for your video, your TV, your sound system, if it's on, there is the electricity is still being used. So there is what Kelly said is the kilowatt reader. It tells you what wasted electricity you're using. So we did a calculation. If you use this energy strip to one of your setups, you reduce your electrical bills by $240 a year. Imagine if you have 1, 2, 3, 4 setups in your home. How much? There's a lot of electricity that can be saved. Imagine 1,000 homes that we can go to and say, hey, you can borrow this, and you can figure out from the library, you can borrow this and you can figure out how much you can save if you just do this. That's what I'm trying to say. So anyway, so if the issue is tying in, there is a tie-in with the library. So that's all I wanted to share. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
I'm just going to type something.
Okay.
So it sounds to me that we can actually narrow down the topic to what Noni initially talked about in her comment or in her suggestion, like what library services or programs can really benefit not just the students, but the Milpitas community. Because Dana talked about, how our students can be inspired by personalities like Carnegie And then Commissioner Chua also talked about those toolkits. And then Noni talked about the other programs and services. Rika and I talked about media in general, and it's not just social media. I meant to clarify that when I said media, it includes books, so going to the library. So I think, it's possible by the next meeting, we can narrow down our topic.
Okay.
Chair.
So go ahead, Member Chu, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. I just gonna throw this.
Go ahead,
in.
Council Member.
Thank you, Chair. I'm just gonna throw this in. Was there ever a time that you give the students several subjects and they pick the ones they like?
So I'm going to jump in.
John, could you answer that?
Oh, Steve.
Yeah. So hello, everybody. So yeah, there was, and it was actually when Linda was the community librarian. I remember seeing there were like 2 or 3 options when they wrote in person for each grade level. They had, I think it was 2. You're right, Eulon. You remember that?
The reason we had different topics for different grades is that some of the in-depth topic that may require a little bit more research, probably better for the high school students. And we had more general topics for the lower grade students. And actually, Linda helped to get the topics wrapped up. None of us know the topic beforehand until students showed up. So that was the setup back in 2012.
Okay. Thank you. John Macon has a comment.
Yeah, just I will definitely try to package this and articulate this, all these thoughts, and I do think that we can. It seems like there's consensus to tie it back into the library. I know that Councilmember Cho, I don't know if you were saying as far as options within each age group, like middle school would have 2 or 3 different topics.
Mm-hmm.
I think there might be some potential for inconsistent judging with that, possibly. I don't know, but maybe we could discuss that next time as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I think with all these ideas, I think we'll be able to identify which is, better suited for the middle school age and the high school age with some more thought. But I'll definitely put this down on paper, and we'll be able to drill down a little bit more next meeting. Chair Arbaugh, I think at this point, we talked previously, I think there's the spring break, April 11th through the 15th. So we were identifying as maybe using the month of April, for the students to write that with a deadline of possibly Friday, the 29th of April. That would allow enough time to have the judging in early May and have, who knows, maybe even an in-person, award ceremony before school lets out. But we are getting an earlier start this year, and just even talking about the topic at this point, and then determining that next meeting, we're still on track. So if that's my suggestion, is that if there's agreement that we use kind of April 29th as the deadline for the time frame for the event.
Okay. That would be okay with me if it's okay with everybody else. We have 2 more comments, one from Kelly and one from Council Member Chu. Kelly, did you want to go?
Okay, sure. I just really briefly, I just wanted to just throw into the mix that April is National Poetry Month, and we traditionally do a lot of things, including competitions for youth in that month. Not to say that they can't run at the same time, but I just wanted to make sure you're aware. Thank you.
Okay.
Chair.
And thank you, Council Member Chia.
Just briefly, I just want to remind everybody too that April 16 is Earth Day. We will have a celebration in our city that day, April 16. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, Chair.
thank you. If we don't have anything else on that, we'll go with John's suggestion. And maybe Eulon and I can work with John on this to move it along. If there are no other comments, then we can move on to item number 3. Would that be okay? Item number 3 is the library donor program. John asked me to kind of just make a brief comment on the program. The only change that has occurred is the Milpitas business that the library has used for like the past 25, 30 years in getting banners and placards, including our nameplates on the donor board. They have ended business. That was called Prismatics. Tim Howard was the owner. So he's retired, and now there's a business in Santa Clara that he's handed off to. So any new donors to get their name on the board, I'll have to take the plaques over to Santa Clara. To the best of my knowledge, Kelly, we have not had any new donors. The last one was the goal level $8,000 individual. The only thing I would add is, and I'll be repeating myself, if you get a chance to pick up a couple of the flyers off of the donor board in the library, maybe you can consider, like I did, focusing on some of your neighbors, especially those that have young children who utilize the library. I gave it to one of my neighbors, and right away he made a donation and got his family name on the board. So I think we as commissioners and stakeholders should, periodically visit the donor board, look at the brochure, familiarize yourself with the levels, and then, as I said, take a couple and consider, giving them to neighbors, associates, family members. That's about it. Kelly, would you like to add anything?
No, just the donor board is looking great. I'd love to see some more names up there. So yeah, please.
I think we have about, thank you. We have about 15 donors up there now. So there's plenty of empty plaques if we could get some more donors. Anything else? Let's move on to the next category, staff city council liaison reports. Number 1, Friends of the Milpitas Library, and Noni can be up, and I just want to commend her to the council for doing a superb job on our recent book sale. It was a really good success. So Noni, why don't you take it from here?
All right. Well, as Dana says, we just wrapped up a book sale. I finished cleanup this afternoon. We had fewer. Januaries tend to have smaller sales historically, so it was a sub 600 box sale, was still full, but we brought in about $7,500, which is on it's our average actually, which is kind of amazing given that foot traffic in the library is still down from pre-COVID times, and we started with fewer boxes, but we still had a normally sized sale. But our next book sale will be April 30th and May 1st. It's a smaller sale in the group study rooms because we can't have our June sale. The auditorium will be in use by the voting folks. So the June sale has been canceled. We'll have a smaller April sale and then a smaller August sale, and then back to normal in September.
Great. Anything else, Noni?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, just one question for Kelly. One of our friends' line items was to fund the new children's furniture. And I know that was sort of put on hold because of the, the pandemic in the past, but what is sort of the latest with the new children's furniture for the library?
That has actually been purchased and it has arrived and is out in the library. So if you are in the children's area, you will see these wonderful green and blue footstools along the benches along the wall, and you will see new black chairs at all the tables. So as well as
good. And has our treasurer Karen Armanduras sent you the funding for that?
Yes, that was all accounted for.
Good, thank you. That's it. Anything else on that? No. Next one is the county librarian report. Steve, you're up.
Hello, everybody. John, is there any way I can share my screen? Can I just do that? Let me try here. Okay, can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. Let me see if I can go. Is that full? No. Okay. All right. Good evening, everybody. There we go. So first of all, we have a new poet laureate, Shaka Campbell. So the poet laureate acts as a resource for poetry and literary events and activities to Santa Clara County Library District. So Kelly just mentioned Poetry Month in April, and you'll be seeing him around at a lot of our libraries, I would imagine, handling some events and programs for youth and adults. So keep your eye on that. Oops, went too far. There we go. Sorry, I keep having to move my screen around here so I can read the slide. So Silicon Valley Reads is underway. It kicked off on Thursday with, I think it was over 500, 400 people maybe. So it's the power of kindness, resilience, and hope this year is the theme. Seemingly hundreds of events, but a lot of events that you can attend online. We did move them online for now, at least until March. So hopefully you'll be able to attend some of those events. And also February is, of course, Black History Month. So we have a link down below there, seccld.org/events, if you want to see what programs we have for Black History Month. Of course, the big news right now is that all of our library locations are back to 7 days a week. So finally, we have our Sundays open. We're super excited. All of our evenings that were scheduled pre-pandemic are back, and we're just happy to be able to open our doors like we used to. And that's all I have.
Nice, thank you. Any questions for Steve? No questions. Okay, number 3 is community librarian report. Kelly?
All right, that will be me. And let me see here. We'll share. Hopefully you can see my slideshow there. So I wanted to just put this picture up. I took this during Holiday Magic, and I just wanted to show the beautiful lights that were outside the library. I went out just as the sun was setting there. So it was really beautiful to see all of the decorations up there. So I just wanted to share that with you all. Thanks to the city for making it all look so gorgeous out there. Okay. So as Steve said, the big news is we have expanded hours, and I want to say they're no longer expanded hours. We are at normal hours. So we are back in full business with our Monday to Thursday, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. and our Friday through Sunday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. service. And along with that, we now have our passport services back up and running, and there has been a high demand for the passport services. They are fully booked out and busy. So it's really great to see passport services back in action and able to help our community get those vital documents. I just wanted to do a little snapshot of what happened in December. So we had just over 8,000 people checking out items in the library. And I believe online Milpitas cardholders had even more than that. So we were doing a brisk business both in the library and online. And we had just over 21,000 people come through the door in December, which is around about the same as the month before, but considering we had some closed days there, actually a little bit of an uptick in people coming through, even with the rain and the cold in December. So that was great to see. And our busiest day was Saturday, December 18th, where we had just over 1,600 people come in on that Saturday. But we did have our very first Sunday yesterday, and it was absolutely bustling in the morning with the book sale happening all day. I think that helped bring in a lot of people. And even though it was our very first Sunday and the word is still not quite out there as much as we'd like, we had 1,300 people come through the door on Sunday. So some impressive numbers already. And then just an update on the Institute of Museum and Library Services American Rescue Plan grant that we're working on here at Milpitas. We are doing a pilot launch of the program next week. This is our online digital coaching where we can set people up for a 45-minute session with a digital coach who will help them work through a real technology need they have. So if they need to learn how to create an email, or perhaps they're filling in forms or trying to set up their IRS account, something like that, we have someone there that can do a Zoom session with them and walk them through that. So for the month of February, we're piloting that here at Milpitas. And then in April, we will fully launch the service, adding in Spanish language and also offering this at Gilroy. This is an on-site service, so we will be having staff members put them on the computer, set them up, make sure they're connected so they're as successful as possible. And then here's a couple of pictures of what happened in December. Of note is our Winter Wonderland story walk. It was our first try at a story walk here in Milpitas, and hopefully some of you got to see it. We had it down the front of the library, leading the way along the path down to where Holiday Magic was taking place. And so there was our Winter Wonderland story walk out the front. And then on that very busy day in December, on the 18th, I would credit some of it to our Fratello Marionettes North Pole review, which you can see we did outside the library. We had 180 people turn up to watch that puppet show outside. So it was very well attended, and also gave us a little glimpse of what our outdoor events could look like. So we're busy thinking ahead to perhaps doing some more events out there. And then finally, what are we up to right now? We are now recruiting teen volunteers. If you do have anyone that is interested, they can email the miteen@sccl.org email to get our Teen Services Librarian Ruby, who will work with them to get them oriented and get them some community service hours. And we have just resumed our middle school pop-up. The first one went out last week. They took the Go-Go Biblio, which you can see a picture of here. So two of our staff members drove it out to the school, and they said that the students were very excited to see them, that they were bustling the whole of the lunch break. They had lines of students lining up to check out books. They were excited, and even better, our staff were really excited to be back out there and checking out books to the students. So that was our little pop-up there. I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Anybody have any questions?
Councilmember Chua has
I'm sorry, go ahead, Councilmember Chua, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. Kelly, when did you go back to the normal hours?
We started last Monday on the 24th.
Okay. Well, the Biblio one, how often do you go around, Russell, and the other school?
So they go every other week to each school. So every week it's at one of the schools.
So you alternate
the schools, twice a month at each school.
twice a month. Can you please email me the first flyer, the normal hours, and also the mobile library? Tomorrow is the regular council meeting, and I want to share that there as well.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
You're welcome. Anybody else for Kelly? If not, we'll move on to item number 4.
Okay.
City council report, Council Member Chua.
Thank you,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Chair.
Actually,
sorry.
Tina, I have my hand raised.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm sorry. I missed that. I was looking down instead of out. So go ahead with the question.
Kelly, I have a question for you. So you mentioned that the mobile library can drive to public schools. So I know there are some after-school cares and other facilities on Main Street and some other locations in Milpitas itself. Can they request for the bookmobile to come there to outside their schools too?
So this is our GoGo Biblio. It's slightly different to our bookmobile, which are the bigger buses. The GoGo Biblio is our small electric vehicle, which our staff here will take out. If people are interested in it, they can contact me, or they can contact one of our children's librarians to set up a visit. We don't have sole custody of this vehicle. We actually share it with Campbell. So part of that would be just figuring out a time and a place that we have the vehicle here and we can take it out to them. But if we can make it work, we'd love to make it work.
Okay, that's cool. Thank you.
Anybody else for Kelly? This time I'm looking. Okay. With that, Council Member Chua, you could have the floor.
thank you, Chair. First, I want to thank Vice Chair Eulon for serving as chair the whole year. Thank you so much for your service. And also, who was the vice chair? Was it Vice Chair Ha? So I want to thank her, even though she's not here. She has moved on to another commission. And also congratulations to Chair Dana, and also again, Vice Chair Eulon. Thank you for your incoming service to the Library Commission. Thank you. We appreciate that very much. And also I want to thank the library for hosting indirectly the Holiday Magic on Main Street. That was awesome. Thousands of families were happy, and a lot of kids were happy too. And I just want to give a shout out to Commissioner McDonald. I mean, this is for 1 month, 7,500 book sale. Is that it, Commissioner?
That was for one sale that was held just over the weekend.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you
spent
so
all
much.
of last week setting it up, and then this weekend was the sale, and today I tore it down.
I'll make sure to mention that tomorrow, because that's awesome. Thank you so much. And I also attended I'm on the board of the JPA, the Library, Santa Clara Library Board. And I just want to commend the librarians. I didn't know this until it was mentioned by Chair Wasserman, Supervisor Wasserman, that 25% of our library staff actually worked on the COVID issues. So the other 75% was filling in for them. So you can just imagine the workload that they've been doing for us. So thank you so much. Please extend my thanks, and also the commission's thanks. And I found out also through the recommendation of Supervisor Sinitian that they're looking into the library as a venue to distribute the COVID home key tests. So the librarian, the chief librarian will look into that. So hopefully we'll get that soon, and we can get we can get those home kit tests through the library. So that's one thing that came out of the board meeting. And also, I was able to get the certificate for Mr. Chin, and I think John will put it on the agenda for the March meeting. So it will be on the agenda. We can invite Mr. Chin to accept the certificate of appreciation from us. Yeah. In line of that, I also asked the board, the Santa Clara Library Board, to give a special certificate to Mr. Chen. And this is coming from the higher up. So it makes it more meaningful to show our appreciation for his donation. So if there's anything that that they need, please work, John, please work with Kelly in terms of the who is it for and the verbiage. Thank you. And what else is there? From the council, yay, the gifts for the commissioner has been approved. So you get I think a sweatshirt with your name and the commission name. I've been wanting to get this done, and last meeting it got approved by the full council. So I can't wait to see you guys wear those. So I'm excited. And another one is I got an email just now, and the small businesses grants from ARPA is going to, as we speak, is being launched right now. So our residents, our businesses will have an opportunity to apply for grants for $5,000. So that's good as well. So I think that's it. It's been busy like you guys are. Thank you all.
Well, thank you, Councilmember Chua. And John, my size is extra large, for the shirt. I guess we'll have to give John our size so we get the right size for the commission shirt.
I think it's a stretch shirt. I'm not sure. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, extra large. Okay, the last item is future agenda items. So John, what do you suggest? Do we, for anybody have additions to future agenda items?
Yeah, Chair, I think certainly, first and foremost, we'll drill down on the essay contest, and possibly I could suggest we look at, any other items on the work plan at that point. But with kind of a central focus on the essay contest. My suggestion.
John, how about if Vice Chair Chow and I kind of work with you, later in February to make progress on that topic. Would that be okay with you,
Sure.
Vice Chair Chow? Okay, and there'll just be two of us, so that's okay. Does anybody have any other suggestions for additions to future agendas? If not, I need a motion to adjourn. But before that, let's all write down the date of our next meeting in March. It would be let me see, is it the second Monday in March? Which
It'd be the third.
that would be
The 14th.
yeah, that's why I just want to circle it on my calendar. The second Monday is the 14th, and the third Monday in March is the 21st. So which would it be?
The 21st. It's the third Monday, so it should be the 21st.
Okay, let's everybody write down our next meeting, March 21st at 7 p.m. So do I have a motion to adjourn?
I would like to offer the motion, propose a motion to adjourn the meeting.
And do I have a second?
I second it.
Thank you. Helly seconds. So with that, thanks everybody. And that was 1 hour and 12 minutes. So that's not bad. So thank you. And we'll see you next time. And John, the two of us will get with you
That's great.
in the next few weeks.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.